Hey y'all, I just got off the phone with a student and I thought if I could spend just a little time explaining your reflections that are due in live text that it might help alleviate a little bit of stress. So I'm going to do my best. Um, First things first, log into live text and you'll see that you have up here at the top your field experience where you go to enter your hours, the dashboard, and that's where your assignments will show up. Your assignments will also show up in your courses, and then you have live text docs, and those are the things that you create. So let's talk about this a little bit at the time. In my class, the special ed class, you have one critical assignment that's known as the exploratory paper slash disability resource and presentation. Now, as you create this assignment, which most of you have done, be sure, just to help you out, be sure that when um, you save it as exploratory paper so that it will match what's due in your portfolio. So if you wanted to put exploratory paper backslash disability resource, that's fine too, but just save your work so that it corresponds to the assignment in live text. Okay, so we're looking at your courses, and I'm going to click on 3101. I'm going to click on assignments, if it'll open, and there you have your exploratory paper and resource, and then you have this thing called reflections for standard 1 and 2. So most of you know how to do this. I'm going to click on reflection for standard 1 and 2, and in here you'll see the description for what you have to do for the assignment. So what you'll do for the reflection that corresponds to your critical assignment in our class, it's the exploratory paper, is you're going to answer these 5 questions. So you'll open up a Word document, and if it were me, I would just highlight this, copy, cut, and I would put over in a Word document, and then I would just type out my answers. So you name the artifact, and then the context, you just answer these questions. And then when you get down to number 4 is the question that I sent you an example of a well-written reflection, and I'll show you one in just a minute too. But that example that I sent, so it's while completing this assignment, my understanding of NTAS Standard 1 grew, and then you respond to these questions. Now then, usually this question number 4 is probably closer to 10 sentences than it is to 5 because you have to address specific things. For example, you have to talk about what you learned from that assignment and how that assignment, pursuing that assignment, creating that assignment, impacted your future teaching. It should be clear, and it should be very, very specific and use several examples. You can even pull things out of the field. For instance, if you were talking about in our class, you chose to create a s'more on autism, and in it you describe some of the strategies that were used. Well, you could go back in and talk about how not only did you learn these new strategies, you actually saw them taking place in your field experience. And then question number 5 says provide a link to the artifact. But if you've already submitted it in your portfolio and here in our class, of course, then you just would put the assignment's already submitted. So your directions here will help you, the description of the assignment will help you know how to answer that. All right, so that's how you respond. You're going to copy that, you're going to put it in a Word document, and you're going to answer those questions, and you're going to make sure that you save it so you don't lose that. And then you're going to come back to your live text documents. All right, so now your live text docs, because this is your first semester, you'll probably only have 1 or 2 things here. But I've been here a long time, so I've got pages and pages and pages of things that I've created. So right here, you would find your portfolio that you created, I guess, when Randy Ware came and talked to y'all. And most likely it's your name and EE Portfolio 2018, something like that. I'm going to see if I can find, because I created that portfolio. Um, I know that I've got it right here. All right, so you'll be able to find yours really easily because you'll just have a few things. All right, so once you open up your portfolio, over on the left, well, let me back up a little, I'm sorry. Um, Over here on the left-hand side, you'll see guidelines for explaining your artifact entry. So if you click that, it'll tell you those 4 points that we just went over in our description. As you go through your program, you may get into block 3 and say, what in the world did we do back in block 1 when you're checking on your portfolio? And so you can come back here, and again, you'll see here's our class 3101, and it's under InTASC Standard 1 or 2, and you completed that exploratory paper. All right, so that's just a little bit about your portfolio. So over here on the left, you click on Learner and Learning, and when you do, it's going to open up Standards 1, and if you scroll down, there'll be 2, and then there will be 3. Well, for our class, we're only working on Standard 1 and 2. So you'll come to where it says Artifact, and here's your information again in the blue writing. You'll click Edit, and now this is really tricky, okay? So if you delete all this blue right here, you're going to forget what the heck goes in this section. So because you're only completing my class right now, and that's that 3101, I would only delete that one so that you know what's left in your portfolio. So you can go to your Word document. I'm sorry. This is your artifact. So what you can do is either get your artifact that you created, your exploratory paper, copy and paste it, put it in this text box. But more likely what you're going to do is come down to where it says insert a file. And so you'll click edit, and it's just like any other email that you have. If you didn't create it in your live text docs, then you're going to have to come and submit it, upload a new file. Okay, and so then you would browse from your computer. Okay, and so there you submit your assignment. And then, of course, always, it's going to be save and finish. All right, so now you've got your assignment submitted in live text. And now you come down to your reflection. So again, I'm still under Standard 1. So under this reflection, I'm going to click Edit. And that Word document that you created and you responded to those 4 prompts, you submitted it in our class, in our assignment tab in live text, and waited for feedback. Once you get that feedback, you come back, you copy that Word document, and you paste your answer right here in this text box. All right, and that's where you submit your reflection for your InTASC standards. Always remember to hit save and finish. Okay, so I'm going to try to rehash this one more time to see if it makes sense. In our class, you have a critical assignment that's known as the exploratory paper, which is / your disabilities resource. So when I click on this assignment, I'm sorry, I wanted to show you an example. And so it's this class that's actually got some work turned in. The exploratory paper is turned in here, okay? And so I'll click on it and I'll open it, and I'll have a chance to evaluate the disability or the exploratory paper here. Then back in your assignments tab, you have to respond to your reflection, your InTASC standards, also here. Once you submit your assignment here, And that's your reflection for standard 1 and 2. That's on a one Word document. Most likely for standard 1 and 2, it won't be any more than 2 pages. You just answer those 5 questions for each standard. You submit that Word document in our course. I will evaluate it using 3 rubrics. There toward the bottom, if you scroll down under your text box, and you'll see InTASK Standard Quality of Reflection. And if you click Open, you'll see the rubric that I'm going to use to evaluate your reflection. Okay? And then the other 2 rubrics I'll use to evaluate your understanding of the InTASK Standard. And those rubrics are up under your assignment. Once you get feedback, once I've evaluated it, you'll have feedback. And so on your rubric, if you didn't score the highest score, before you put it in your portfolio, you are welcome to tweak your reflection and make it better, and then put it in your portfolio. So you submit your work in our course. So right now we're in 3101. And then once you have all that information in there, you wait until I evaluate it, which I'll do as quickly as I can. And then once you have feedback, you're going to come back to your LiveText docs. You're going to open up your EE portfolio. You're going to click on the left-hand side where it says Learner and Learning, and you're going to select Standard 1, Artifact, Edit, submit your exploratory paper / disability resource there. Click Save and Finish. Then you'll scroll down and you'll see where it says Reflection. And so you've already written it. You've gotten feedback from me. You've improved it based on the feedback. It's saved in a Word document. So in that reflection section, you click Edit. You go to that document on your computer and you can copy it and paste it in the text box of your portfolio, or you can submit it as an attachment in your reflection section. Okay? Your reflection, remember in my course, you're turning in your reflection for 1 and 2 in one document. In your portfolio, of course, you put standard 1 reflection under standard 1, and then standard 2 reflection under standard 2. I hope that helps. I was going to try to find one where I thought, an example of one that was already completed. I just can't quite remember who's done it. And that's just the paper. So anyway, I have sent y'all an email that had a write-up of a reflection that was really solid, and I'll be happy to share another example with you if you need it. I hope that this helps, and I hope that this will give you the opportunity to kind of get your courses straightened out, because I know with the holiday coming, some of you kind of want to get some things done before you come back from Thanksgiving. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. And please email me, call me, text, whatever you need if you need me to clarify this anymore. Y'all have a great day.